Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing an 8-4 Magic Origins draft. We opened Goblin Pile Driver, a little bit too difficult and narrow to play, and it's not worth anything as it turns out. This card is a staple of Legacy Goblins, but not so good in this limited environment. We've got Leaf Gilder, but we've got Topin Freeblade, and I feel like I've gotten enough people telling me I need to be slamming Topin Freeblade more often, where I should probably just take it here. I mean, Eyeblight Massacre is pretty good, but I feel like every time I play this, I play against like a deck that runs 10 elves. It doesn't even have to be an elf deck, but they happen to have like 10 elves in their deck. I guess we'll just play the Freeblade. There's not even like a removal that's really close. Like, Freeblade's definitely better than Flare. I'm a huge Elvish Visionary fan, but let's just take the Freeblade. Whatever. I feel like the problem with it is white is such a popular color that it gets cut a lot, but in my last draft, white was definitely open. Okay. All right. Well, some powerhouse cards in here. I mean, Skysnare Spider is extremely powerful. I probably just want to take that. I like Separatist Void Mage a lot. I think Sigiled Starfish is very good. There's just a lot of good cards in here, but I mean, Spider is insanely strong. It's got to be one of the strongest 6-drops you can get. I mean, otherwise I go for like Omega Aggro. It's just Timberpack Wolf is so much worse than Skysnare Spider if I only end up with like one. It is early enough where I feel like I likely could get a few of them. I mean, I could just go for the straight beatdown deck, but I don't even really like taking Timberpack Wolf over Separatist Void Mage. Like, Void Mage pairs a lot better with Freeblade, clearing up that area for you. But, like I said, like, Spider is definitely the strongest card. The old Vigilance Reach. Let's just take the Spider. I think it's early enough where we just take the strongest cards in the pack. Okay. So now in white, we've got a couple kind of unimpressive cards. I probably just want the Llanowar Empath. There's a Read the Bones, but I'm a little more incentivized to want to stay in green because of the Skysnare Spider, because it's such a powerful card. There's a Rune Servitor, which 100% of the time I think I end up playing, because there's like artifact synergies in this set. It's a colorless 2-drop 2/2. It's got a kind of, I mean, it's got a ability that, you know, not necessarily advantageous for either player. But Empath is actually just really good. I've had some very good experiences with this card. Just a great way for green to generate card advantage. So let's go Empath. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, there's Orchard Spirit. There's Evolving Wilds. Grasp and Kithian's Tactics, I'm not really digging for white. Kind of already feeling like white's not going to happen. Best card in the pack is probably Aeronaut. I like this card more than most people do, I think. Evolving Wilds, I guess it'll let me, you know, maybe open up for like a splash or something. But I guess Orchard Spirit's pretty playable most of the time. Good evasion on that. All right, Orchard Spirit. Kind of feels like white's not happening. Leaf Gilder's always very good. I think we might just pick that here. There's an Acroan Sergeant. There's a Fetid Imp. And there's an Amperin Tactician. But I'm going to take Leaf Gilder. I love this card. Leaf Gilder's great. Alright, so is it a sign that we're seeing, what, a 6th pick Knight of the Pilgrim's Road? Maybe. Is it even better than Charging Griffin? Or is it even better than Might of the Masses? You know, Might of the Masses has been really good for me and against me most of the time. I mean, granted, you need quite a few creatures, but I would say since every single card in our deck is a creature, we're off to a good start for Might of the Masses. Knight of the Pilgrim's Road is fine. It's not an amazing one, but it's fine. I'm going to take Might of the Masses. I still feel like white is kind of getting cut. I mean, granted, I could just take a white card and cut it, but until I start seeing some later white picks that are good, because I don't consider Knight of the Pilgrim's Road good exactly. It's more like a sufficient renowned creature. Interesting. All right, well, there's Yavimaya Coast, which is a ticket or two, and fixes. There's Titanic Growth, though, which is pretty good. And there's a late Charging Griffin, but I still think Charging Griffin's kind of mediocre, too. And Scrapskin Drake is just not very good. I could just take the Coast, open me up for a green-blue deck, maybe. I do like Titanic Growth, though, and I've lost against it enough where I probably should just take it. It is a legitimate combat trick, and it can push through enough damage to win. Let's just take green cards. We know we're in green, and I'm not going to be unhappy about having a Titanic Growth. Okay, interesting. So I've got a really late Scab Goliath, which is actually kind of a good sign. I mean, that card's strong. Another Titanic Growth. And there's Eyeblight Assassin, too, which is a pretty reasonable card. Guardian Automaton, not terribly exciting, but playable. Kind of want this Goliath. That, I feel like that might be a sign. I mean, 6-drop, 6/9 Trampler. Pretty powerful. Could be a sign for blue. Ringward Owl, pretty playable. A little more exciting than Screeching Scab, although Scab feeds the other Scab, and it's a 2-drop. I think Owl's stronger than Screeching Scab, though. So let's take that. I feel like Stratuswalk's likely good in a green-blue deck. Although Elemental Bond currently do have, I guess, only 3 guys that work with it. It's kind of a tough card to make work. Sigil of the Empty Throne. Don't want to lose against it, but I'll take the Stratuswalk. Like I said, I feel like I could end up playing that in a green-blue deck. I kind of feel like we're already kind of good on in-game, but if I don't end up in blue, I'm going to want the Gorger, so I'll take it. I guess there were some white cards at table there, but they're not good white cards, you know? I'll take the white card just in case it's open. I don't think white is open. Even though I mean, what was it? A Jailer tables? Aerial Volley is a good sideboard card. I definitely feel like we're right to be in green. And like I said, we saw a late Scab Goliath and Ringwarden Owl. Scab Goliath's definitely better than Ringwarden Owl, but Owl that late could be a sign for blue, possibly. I don't think white is open, though. Even though we saw a Jailer super late. Jailer, not that great of a card. All right. So, pack 2 here. We've got some real choices on hand. I kind of want to take the Void Mage. Granted, there's Anchor to the Aether, but the reason Void Mage is better is because we're already running Titanic Growth and Might of the Masses. And you just want as many creatures as you can get. Hope to table, I don't know, Might, Rock Mauler, Anchor, Water Courser. Any of those would be nice tables. Even Rune Servitor would be good. But we're going to take Void Mage because I love this card. I'm about ready to commit to blue on that pick. No good real white cards to start off with, which is nice. So it's not like a difficult choice. And Reeve Soul is definitely good removal, but I don't think I'm going to head towards the black direction. Green-blue has been okay for me anyway. There's a Topin Freeblade, but alright. Claustrophobia is removal, but Undercity Troll I think is a little bit too strong to pass up here. Just a really strong 2-drop renowned creature. Disperse and Claustrophobia being in here is kind of a bummer, but Undercity Troll, I mean, it's a great pickup. It's an excellent 2-drop creature. Now I get past the Blessed Spirit. I'm fine taking a Bonded Construct. I don't love it, but it's playable. Otherwise, I take a Scrapskin Drake, which I don't really like in this format all that much. I think Bonded Construct's probably better. I've had good experiences with Construct against the aggro decks. Buys you time. We've got a great late game plan already, so I think I'm okay with that. It can beat down. It's a good late game card too. Alright, Vounding Krasis. Yeah, I think we're just slamming that. It's a great card. There's a Displacement Wave, which I haven't played, but I don't think it's that great anyway. And I know Bounding Krasis is a very good card. Bounding Krasis is great. Just really versatile 3-drop. Not only a 3-mana 3/3, which is great. It's got the flash, so you can keep up counterspells, which admittedly we don't have right now, but it's just nice that you can do that. And the fact that you can tap or untap something really makes it a versatile versatile creature card, so let's take it. Pretty happily there. Here I think we just take another Empath. We could use another 4-drop, and I do like Empath quite a bit. Good red cards in here, which is interesting, but Empath's a good pickup for us. Always like this card, and we just have a huge creature base for it already, which is nice. I actually like the Force Mage, I think, for this deck. I mean, granted, we could use some more cheap creatures to really be able to take advantage of it. But that's a late Fetid Imp, too. That's interesting. And I don't think we need to go Fortunate. We're already good on late game, so now we're just trying to fill up the early game. And Force Mage can be really good, especially alongside like Undercity Troll. But really good with your flyers, too. It's a pretty late read to Bones. There's also a late Titan Strength Subterranean Scout, I guess. Maybe I'm supposed to be in black? I mean, Artificer's Epiphany is not all that good. I guess we only have, what? 5 blue cards? The white cards aren't very good. I'll take a late read to Bones, whatever. Ooh, oh my god. And then we just get Dragon Invocation out of nowhere? Yeah. Well, that's amazing. That's such a late Dragon Invocation too. I think we want the Servitor here over the Second Might of the Masses. We actually just really want to fill up on early. I think it might be too late to get out of blue. It's not like our blue cards are bad. Our blue cards are already, in fact, better than I think our last draft's blue cards. Orchard Spirit number 2 is a good sign for us, actually. This is another card that works well with the Force Mage, but also just allows you to kind of push damage through. That was a good back-to-back-to-back pick, though. Dragon Invocation into Servitor into Orchard Spirit. That worked really well for us. None of these cards matter. I guess I'll take Psychic Rebuttal. I doubt I sideboard into it, though. Bone Dash, maybe. I don't think we need the Guardians so much. Maybe if I play against an expensive creature deck. Hey, Orbs of Warding is a reasonable sideboard card against the Thopter decks. Pilgrimage, take it. I don't think I'll play it. I've played against it honestly quite a few times, and I've still just not impressed with it. I think Gorger's probably out though. I think I'd rather play a Goliath than a Gorger. We've got enough creatures where I feel like getting 2 creatures in my yard isn't too difficult, and that kind of like same mana cost, getting an additional attack, 3 additional toughness, and trample seems like a lot of extra advantages. Okay, there is a Somber Wallet Alpha in here, which I like, but we're so short on removal that I gotta slam this Wild Instincts. We need some ways to kill dudes, and currently we really just don't have that many. Mighty of the Masses and Titanic Growth are pretty much it. So Wild Instincts is a great card. I would like the Alpha. Even Timberpack Wolf would be good for this deck, but Instincts it is. And then we just miss. Actually, no. I guess we take the Orchard Spirit. I'm okay with. I mean, the problem with the Orchard Spirits are, I feel like they're good on the play, not so good on the draw. Stratus Walk also looking a lot worse in this deck now. But I mean, Orchard Spirit's fine. Like I said, it works well with Force Mage. It does work well with your pump spells since they likely get through. And I guess there's nothing else in here we care about, so we'll take the Spirit. I feel like you can have too many spirits, though. 2 should be like the magic number on that. This deck just needs 2 to 3 more 1 and 2 drop creatures, and I think we're looking in pretty good shape here. We'll take the second Force Mage. Otherwise, I'm taking a Maritime Guard, which I'm not really impressed with. At least Force Mage lets me push some more damage through with my Orchard Spirits, so I guess they're acceptable. Ooh, Valoron Wardens are quite good. I think because we have the Undercity Troll, I could justify it a little bit better too, and I guess they're pretty good with the Force Mages as well. There is a Disperse though. I think Wardens are better. Potential card draw. I do like Farika's Disciple, and another Lano or Empath wouldn't be the worst either, but I'm going to take the Wardens. I actually like Disperse here too, though. It's interesting. I feel like a lot of our 3-drops are little clunks. Little clunks McGrunks. But we'll take Valor on Wardens. They're pretty awesome. Oh, interesting. Well, Turn Frog's good. Disperse is good. Naturalist might just be the pick, though. I love having a main deck way to blow up artifacts and enchantments, and the fact that it's attached to a nice body, and this pack has Clash of Wills. Man. I do love me some Clash of Wills. We're borderline mono green, by the way. I'll take the Naturalist. Maybe we do end up mono green. Who knows? Aeronaut works better with the Invocation and the Might of the Masses. Titanic Growth honestly kind of keeps us mono green. Our blue cards are strong, but I don't even have to run Ring Warden Owl now. Just really minimize blue's impact on this deck. Let's take growth number 2. I actually think I like it a little bit more. Visionary is like right up this deck's alley. Basically exactly what I want. Adds fuel for our Might of the Masses, card advantage, works with Titanic Growth, and Jiraga Invocation. Yeah, Visionary is like just perfect for this deck. Chief of the Foundry, don't really have... I've actually got a couple artifact creatures, I guess. I mean, Aeronaut's good. What am I cutting? Maybe Scab Goliath goes. Maybe I do take the Chief, just 3 mana, 2/3. Maybe I really just move towards mono green. I have enough combat tricks and 1 piece of removal and Jiraga Invocation where it could work. I'll take the Chief. It's speculative. Maybe I can make a mono green deck work. Like I take this out, take out Void Mage, and I take out Krasis. Automaton. Not great, but playable. I think we'll hate the Shaman. I don't need a Vine Snare. None of these cards are particularly good. Dismissal. Sidearm, maybe. Mantle of Webs. So I can play mono green. I guess I don't have that much incentive to play mono green. Like, it helps the mana base, but we're not that color intensive. I think I'm gonna bring the blue in for sure. So we'll play specific blue cards like Bound and Krasis, absolutely worth it. Separatist Void Mage, yes. And other than that, I think I'm good. I don't even need the Scab Goliath. We've got enough late game going on anyway. Although I guess Chief of the Foundry is not that great for our deck. It's just Construct, Servitor, and Guardian Automaton, which I might actually be cutting. So maybe Chief can get the boot. I'd almost rather play Automaton for potential life gain rather than the Chief, just for a couple cards. So what am I running over it again? I don't really like Calculated Dismissal enough to run it as a splash card. I mean, I could run the Scab Goliath over the Chief of the Foundry as like our last... I mean, we're running a ton of creatures. I think there's a really high chance that we're going to have 2 creatures in our yard by the time we can cast Scab Goliath. 19 creatures, yeah. I don't really need the Stratus Walk, I don't think, because I've got a lot of evasive guys already. I mean, this looks good. I don't have any issues with this. We're removal light, but we have enough early game, I think. We've got 5 2-drop or less creatures. Oh, do I guess I actually don't need the... I guess this is 23 cards right here, huh? Okay. Well, I think Dragon Vocation, Sky Snare Spider, Naturalist. We've got the Empaths for card advantage. Guardian Automaton actually feels like a good card in this deck because I feel like we could get clunky. Like being able to swing with Orchard Spirit and leave back Automaton to trade and gain life actually seems good for us. And once again, Bonded Construct seems pretty good for us. I'm pretty happy with this build. I think this is fine. I think it looks better than our last deck, at least. Just Removal Light, which kind of sucks, but I don't think we're like ultra clunky. And Dragon Invocation is such a you win the game card, especially when you're running 18 creatures. That is huge. Like Empath is going to have an extremely hard time missing, I think. I mean, I think this is the deck. I like it. I think it looks good. Could have used another Wild Instincts maybe, or even another Might of the Masses would have been good, but Leaf Gilder looks pretty good here. Our curve's not like ridiculous. I mean, obviously I could have used more 2-drops or less, but we're 3-drop heavy, which is better than being 4-drop heavy. And we're not like super heavy on the late game plan. And we have good card draw value with Visionary Double Empath. So, all right, you know what? I'm happy with this. The question is, how many islands do we run for straight up 2 blue cards? We probably just run 5. And that hardly hurts the mana base at all. I could do 6, but I think the general rule of thumb is twice as many lands as when you're doing the splash color, it's like twice as many lands as the number of blue symbols necessary. So having 5 islands for 2 blue symbols in the deck seems like I should be able to find it. And I feel like if I go 11-6, I'm going to end up getting a 3-island hand or something and be unhappy. Okay. This looks good to me. Certainly not the most bonkers deck I've ever run, but very strong green cards in here, obviously. And we pretty much had free reign on green. I mean, that's one of the latest Draga invocations I've ever seen. And considering how good that card did for us last draft, maybe I can be fortunate and have it do us good this time around too. Okay. Yep, I think this is it for us. Not too much of a sideboard plan, huh? Aerial Volley against the Flyers deck. We've got the Orbs of Warding against the Thopter deck, I guess. Or the Fairy Miscreant deck, maybe. Possibly the Burn deck. Other than that, I've never sideboarded into Psychic Rebuttal. It's a little bit way too specific, actually. Maybe it works well against the Chandra's Fury deck or something, but Chandra's Fury is not even that good against us. There's like 2 guys in the deck that it kills, maybe 3. Yeah, I guess not much else to say. All right, we'll see you around 1.